Yo, what's up guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we go to the actual video, yes, I have some, that's still some pink eyeliner, whatever you want to call it, from my corpse paint from yesterday. Yesterday I was at a festival, Harry. It was very nice. I've scored some t-shirts and I went on, I had a picture with some people and I talked with some singers, so it was nice. It was nice. Good music, obviously. Otherwise, I wouldn't go. Let's just start with the pictures. The first picture, the singer from Blue Wolf Sauerkraut, Kenneth, there next to me. He was there, so that was very nice. It was nice to see him again. I've seen Blue Wolf Sauerkraut twice or thrice live. Fun band. If you watch this on Underdog Reacts, because I'm also dropping it here, there, whatever. You've seen the video. You've seen 2 videos from me reacting to Blue Wolf Sauerkraut. That's his band. Like I said, very nice guy. I had some corpse paint, like I said. Very nice, very nice. Didn't do it myself. There was a lady there that did face paint, so it was nice that to come a bit closer to what I had the first time that I did there. Here's a picture with me and the bassist while he is playing a Toby. Nice guy. He's from Raised by Owls. Nice guy. After they went on stage, I talked a bit outside. I was outside smoking, and then Toby came outside, so I talked a bit with him. Hey, because I was standing next to them. Here's another photo with me and Toby. Here's the guitarist. As you can see, I'm standing on stage behind them. And here's me and Sam, the singer from Raised by Owls. Nice guy, really nice guy. They did a kind of a contest too, 3-round contest. First one was the best headbanger that would win a t-shirt. Circumcision survivor. Oh, yeah, I really wanted to have one of the 2 t-shirts that they had actually. The first and the third competition you could win a t-shirt. The third one was, I think, best dancer or best mosh pitter or something like that. And the second one was best growler, and you get a reward. I've got that reward. It was also the first time performing in the Netherlands. As I talked to Toby and Sam, the singer, said also himself on stage when this is the first time performing in the Netherlands. So that was really cool. And now I'll show you my t-shirts that I scored. Let's just start with, we're talking about Raised by Owls, so let's show you off my t-shirt from Raised by Owls that I scored. Very nice, very nice. With on the back, I think it says awful music for awful people. I don't know if you can really see it. Guttural Slug was there too. I know Guttural Slug for a couple years. Not a couple years, I know them already, I think before the pandemic, so but I never listened really to them. They were recommended to me once on my feed, so I just clicked on it, to listen to it, and not bad. And I've talked, but it was not the actual thing for Guttural Slug that was there. It was a kind of a replacement. Oh, there I am. Yes, yeah, it's a bit red here, from scrubbing my face. I've talked with him a bit because during another band, which I will bring to the channel too. The two other singers came on stage. He was one of them that went on stage, and when I saw him walking, I asked him, how he does the cricket sounds. So I got some tips how he does it, which is very nice. And obviously, I scored for his shirt, a t-shirt from Gardol Slug. With the back print. Yeah, very nice, very nice. And at last, I've got a t-shirt from the festival itself. And on the back it says: Blafhard, beukende, snoeihard, goddeloze, death slam, grind, core, gore en more. Wat een herrie. So basically extreme hard, death slam metal. Death slam, grind, core, gore and more. Yeah, I had a lot of fun. And it for the best crowd, they did this for Napalm Death. Yeah, I don't listen to Napalm Death. Except the one band that I don't listen to, Napalm Death. So yeah. Oops. But yeah, I'm really happy with this reward, because just fucking cool. But that said, I'm gonna leave that, and you will now get normal programming. I just had to show this one off, because it's just cool. So I'll see you guys for the actual video. Oh, and before I forget, not for Slipknot, but during Raised by Owls, they also had twice a kind of a mascot that came on stage. It was not really mascot, but the first time it was Blobby with two double-edged dildos swinging it around. And if you watch this on my third channel, Underdog Reacts, yes, Blobby as in Blobby from Blobcore that we done on the channel, which is also making comeback too. It will come back to the channel, so if you want to see that one, subscribe. And the second one, it was Cookie Monster in a baseball uniform, I think. Very funny, but now you get non-programming. What's up guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Underdog Reacts, and I watched Prometheus with the tagline: the search for our beginning could lead to our end. Yes, and that's actually always like that. Because you don't know what the fuck you're digging up, What if they died of some disease that went through air, and now you're digging them up and it spreads all over again, after it was frozen. Shit like that. And maybe that's more something like The Thing, which I've seen the Thing, both movies. More than 10 years ago probably. Around 10 years. So I've seen it, but I've read that there's gonna be a sequel to The Thing, because the sequel that came out now, that's actually a prequel, and the one that is, I think, now allegedly in the make, is going to be the actual sequel to the original. So I'm curious, and when that one is coming out, we're gonna watch The Thing, if it's not actually in the making, we're gonna bring the thing earlier. But that said, I watched Prometheus, and let's just start with the movie, shall we? We're in space, and we see a bit of Earth. Yeah, we see the upper part here, and it just slit. Like a melon rhyme. It was a bit, just lit, and we go through some clouds, and we get some where we fly over the surface and of Earth, I think, and we get some different shots, and those shots, very nice, nice, sharp, pretty good. Um, we're flying over the water towards a waterfall, and then we see above the waterfall, we see a ship. We just see a bit of a circle-ish. And then we get kind of a above shot, the waterfall falling, here, ground, and we see a person walking towards the waterfall. We have then more of a close up, and he take off his hood, and he is very pale. We get a front shot, that when we take off his hood, and he's very pale. He squats down and puts something, with both hands on the ground. Okay, then he screws the top off, both hands again, puts it the top half on the ground, and takes out something. We get a close-up shot of that something, and he consumes it. Okay, then he starts to get like how your veins are through your body. It starts with like black, black veins or whatever, and it looked like he started to deteriorate, breaking down, his body. And then he fell into the water, and like Mr. Garrison over the near of the waterfall, he fell down. But we're also gonna leave that, because if you want to know what's gonna happen next, watch the movie yourself. See, I get what Cartman said about Prometheus, that the writers didn't even know what they were doing. But on the other hand, I kind of enjoyed it, but I will come back for that later. They were gonna explore what was it? What was called level something, that from the first movie, that planet from the first movie, because this is a prequel to the first movie. And they brought a team, and they were about to explore, and one of them said, this is a scientific scientific search or something, no weapons. Honey, you're on foreign planet. You don't know what's out there, and if you go without any weapon, and there are hostile aliens that can kill you, you're fucked. So, I don't really agree with that. I would take something. That was kind of a stupid decision. If there was something, because, well, there was nothing. yeah, they went inside, they're exploring, and apparently there was a giant ship, in kind of a U form, or like like a sausage, like so round sausage. Um, Maybe like a Hema-rookworst, if you're Dutch, you probably know. Um, but they went inside, and they were in a room, and there was a giant head that's also on the poster, and they were all faces, not faces, no, faces as in where you can put a rose in, a face all over. And uh, they one robot took one of those faces with him, and a bit later in the movie, two others were still in that room, and instead of a normal face hugger, it was like a worm, something like that. It it went around the guy's arm, breaking it. Then they cut it off, but it went into the guy's suit and went into his mouth. It didn't. No, it just legit went into his mouth. So it was like a worm, snake, like face huggeries. Um, Back to the face that the robot took. Uh, he screwed it loose, opened it, and inside were four kind of files. He, took one upside down, broke the top, and then had a black dot. And remember from the first movie that that robot was kind of fucked. Well, this robot was probably a generation before that one, so this one is even more fucked. Um, so because he infected one of the crewmates, by giving him a drink, and then put that black dot, in his drink. He drank the thing, and then he had sex with a female doctor. Um, that was the last survivor of the movie. And she was then pregnant, even though she just had sex 10 hours ago. She was 3 months pregnant. So she went to med bed that was actually only for males, and she did a kind of abdominal surgery to get that thing out, and later in the movie, that thing was grew. Obviously, it was grown, and it was like a giant sea star with tentacles. Instead of like those stumps basically, like what Patrick has. It was like tentacles, and one that crescent, that crescent ship, that I was talking about, that like a U form, that was from the first. No, like from the beginning, that pale guy, he was like the first kind of human, I think, and there was one survivor on that ship from that one in cryogenic sleep, And when that thing was grown, she was uh, the only survivor then, and she was on the ship, and that thing came after her. She was on um, the med bay part of the ship. I don't know. Yeah, the med bay part of the ship, because that was ejected after they shot down the crashing ship, what I'm gonna talk about a bit later. Um, so she med bay or part of the ship, and that thing came inside the ship, inside the med bay of the ship. But that part of the ship, it came from outside, after her, trying to kill her, and it got her, and then she pushed a button or something. It opened the med bay, and out comes, Cthulhu Patrick Star, comes out and grabs that humanoid thing. She escaped, and before that, actually, she had a kind of a weird axe. With it was a bit straight, and then it had a bubble in it, like a kink in it, and it was then straight again. I've never seen an axe like that before, so quite interesting. So she escaped, and that Patrick Sarkatulu thing, put it opened its mouth, and put that thing, that what the facehuggers also have, where that put in your mouth, to get you pregnant from chest bursters, it put that in him, and at the end of the movie, his body was slit open, and out spilled guts, and the first xenomorph. Because this was probably the first time that species was crossed with the human version. Because, like I said in Alien vs Predator's Requiem, with the alien with the predator mouth, it's probably because they evolve by because that no. Well, maybe they maybe evolve per species, because this is the first time with humans, so they change from worm form to what we have right now, what we all know, to that. Then in Requiem, it was with the xenomorph, with the predator, so it had that kind of mouth. Or we had in one of the other movies, with an ox, so it was more agile, and more, maybe more agile or something like that. So maybe they kind of evolve with, the species that they then cross with. Who knows? But like I said, the shutdown of the crescent ship. That thing. We had in the first movie. There was a giant gun. And there was. But there was a guy that was sitting in that chair, with something open. I think that they said in the first movie. So that doesn't make sense then, right now. But it was a giant gun, and it was going towards Earth, with all those faces, with those snake worm face hugger thingies, and Doctor Holloway, whatever her name is, the last survivor, she says, well, whatever you do, don't let it go to Earth. So, the captain said, well, okay, we're gonna shoot it down with our ship. They don't have a warship, so they have to crash into it to make it crash. And they did that. And then yeah, obviously it started to fall, and now her and the doctor of Wayland, which is who sponsored, who paid for all the shit, she was with them, the owner of the ship, um, they had to run because she said, well, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna do this," and she took a escape pod to get out when they were shooting down the Crescent ship. So they had to run, and this is what I don't now forget. They try to outrun the ship. The ship is falling this way, and they're gonna run this way. Why? Why are you running? What running? Why are you running? Why are you running the same direction as that the ship is falling? That's kind of stupid. Just run to the side. Because if you try to outrun it, you can't. So if you run to the side, you can avoid it. Because if if this is coming like that, you don't run that way. If something is straight coming for you, you don't obviously, like, you can't evade a bullet, but let's say there's a chance that you can outrun a bullet. You don't run straight. If a bullet is coming right for you, you don't run the same direction as the bullet. No, you go the other way, because bullets go only one direction. So you go to the side. So you evade it. That's what I would think. And that doctor, she fell, and she did exactly that. She rolled to the side, and she evaded it. The other woman, she also fell, and she died because she was still running straight. But yeah, then it happened, because it was a crescent-shaped ship, like a U-form. Then it fell to the side. Yes, but because it's a U-form, it has a big opening. So I would say run to the opening, But luckily, there was a kind of a rock that just stopped it, so she could still get underneath it to get out, to survive. But yeah, and it's the same as in that Family Guy episode, where Brian and Stewie are going back in time, where there's that from another episode with the Shapoopy, I think, where they dumping all the cash, I think, in the stadium. Or is that not the Shapoopy episode? But they try to outrun the blimp that's shot down, and they run the direction of where the blimp is falling. They run this, and the blimp is falling like that, so they can't outrun it. So luckily, so we have that portal thing where you can jump on top of, and they go away again. But if you run in the direction of what it's falling, you probably outrun it. It's still falling that way, but if you run this way, if you run that way and that thing is falling that way, you probably can outrun it. Maybe, I think. They could have probably outrun it, if they ran the other direction. So yeah. Overall, the movie on its own, I like it. As a standalone movie, not related to the Alien franchise, it's definitely high 4.5. Going with it's part of the Alien franchise, it's probably a 3, because it kind of brought more questions than answers. Yeah. So overall, I think I will give this one a 3.75. It was a decent movie for the franchise. For the franchise, it was a decent movie. It was not the best movie from the franchise, but as a standalone movie, it was a very good movie. I enjoyed it a lot, and it still goes for a decent movie. I still enjoyed it a lot, you know. Yeah, uh, go watch the movie yourself. Leave likes. Recommend a good, no, alien related movie down below in the comment section. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to my second channel, Underdog Eats, where I do food, drinks every week. Also, from time to time, hot sauce and alcohol. Or my third channel, Underdog Reacts, where I do primarily music, like what I showed you at the beginning. Raised by Owls, Blue Waffle Sauerkraut. If you're interested in that kind of music, check it out. Link down below in the description. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.